It's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and I'm long overdue to make this kind of video. I've made a few ones in the past, so a few of you are seeing my old content. I have over 4,400 videos or something. It might even be more to date. So there's a lot of content out there, and things change like crazy, especially in the aligner industry. And I know most of y'all know, if you look at my bio, that I did help. I was on the initial startup team for SmileDirectClub. I said I owned the company. I said I was on the startup team. And I was with them for the first 2 years. So I definitely have absolute love and fascination towards clear aligners. They are amazing. And over the last 6 years that I've been with my own company, Straightsmile Solutions, where we've been supporting doctors, whether you are new grad orthodontists, general dentists, pediatric dentists, DSOs, in launching and scaling really high quality orthodontics in their practices. If you're looking to do sloppy ortho, that's not me. I don't do that. So I'm here to help you to do it right and do as good of a job as an orthodontist if that's what you're looking to do. Now, some patients are always looking just for something simple, so there's always many options, right? But we need to do it right regardless. Anyway, so that's what I do. But as part of that, I've really gotten into the whole, now that, the first round of Invisalign patents have expired a couple years ago, there's a lot more in-house aligners going on, and I love them. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I own my own 3D printer in our office? No, we don't do it. Why? Because where we live, space is premium, the places where we have practices, and it is just not possible. You cannot have a 3D printer in a small office. It's gonna smell. You need a really big, well-ventilated lab. We don't have the space. Space is a premium. It's not worth our time or money, nor am I even interested in dealing with it. But some of you are, so good for you. So I'm gonna take you through all the steps you need in order to do that, whether you wanna outsource or you wanna make it in-house. I've followed along with enough practices from A to Z. Some were successful, most were not. So I'm gonna give you my own personal opinion, and too many people rush to Z without completing every single step along the way, and guess what? You will fail. You will hate it, you will fail, it will not work out. Of all the practices that I've worked at that have done it, and I can count dozens and dozens and dozens that I've done, I think only 2 or 1 are successful. That's how few actually have stuck with it and have managed to make it profitable and successful and help their practice instead of hurt their practice. So that, and I'm not saying you can't, but everyone else does it the wrong way. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how to do it right, okay? Now, I'm going to mention a little bit of stuff about compliance and FDA regulation. Hey, I'm not an attorney, nor do I read up on all the most current stuff. There are companies that do that. So I'm going to just loosely gloss over that. You are going to need to consult with many different consultants in order to do this. Do not think you can take a weekend class and just start doing this. You're going to screw up, you're going to hurt patients, and you're probably going to get in trouble. So let me just tell you, and you need to know your own laws in your own state and everything like that. All right, so first step is your doctors need to know ortho. And you can't just do aligners to know ortho. You need to know ortho backwards and forwards. You need to know how teeth move. That means you need to understand braces. I have yet to see anyone be really successful in in-house aligners that didn't already know how to do a lot of braces, not just take a weekend class like they've done a lot of braces. Or they've been doing Invisalign for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years and done hundreds of cases, and they've all worked out well. Do not go straight into in-house aligners without doing, real aligners first, because you're gonna learn so much, okay? Because how are you gonna know that when something goes wrong, what went wrong? Are you gonna, once you start introducing all these additional variables into it, manufacturing, treatment planning, how are you gonna know if there's something that goes wrong or something's off track that it's not your manufacturing? How are you gonna know that it's not your treatment planning? There's just so many variables, right? So I really strongly recommend that you either do braces and Invisalign, or at least just years and years and years, and a lot of cases, not 5, of comprehensive good Invisalign, and you need to get amazing outcomes, not just start the cases. So sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't think you should rush into this, okay? Once you feel really confident and you're an amazing Invisalign treatment planner, and by the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and back up. If you're looking to expedite this, you can work with an orthodontist like myself, Straightsmile Solutions, but there's many of us that are out there. Some only deal with Invisalign, some will deal with all aligner companies, some will deal with braces, phase 1, interceptive, we do it all. Some people don't, but work with an orthodontist. I don't care who it is. That's going to help you learn to optimize your aligner cases and help you get amazing outcomes. This is not just a 1 week, 1 day, a course. They need to stay with you for a year, 2 years, throughout the lifetime of the case, so that you get and you understand orthodontics. That will actually speed the process up a little bit more, and we're happy to do that for you, by the way, if you need somebody. So that's that. Once you understand ortho, okay, then that's the first major step, first major hurdle, okay? No rushing. Now, let's say, for example, you've been doing Invisalign for 4 years, you've done 500 cases, 300 cases, you've finished 200 cases at least. You get it. Like, you know what a good case is, you know how to select cases. Now, if you want to do your own brand, you need to decide one of two things. Are you going to do your own manufacturing in-house, or are you going to outsource? Now, I always 100% recommend not getting that 3D printer quite yet. And if you already have one, don't dust it off, leave it where it is, and you do the first 50 to 100 cases outsourced. I work with an amazing lab and treatment planning facility. I've basically got the whole process down. I don't own these, okay? But I've just, after working with so many different companies, different labs, different design services, I finally found the one I trust, okay? And it's the one that we use in our office. And I've worked with hundreds of doctors that have used this particular one. It's by invitation only, it's by name only. They don't spend all kinds of money on marketing and websites, nope. So they put their money basically into creating the best product, having the best staff, and they don't spend money on marketing because then they'd have to raise your price. So the way it works is I think they're about $90 to $99 for the design, which is really important. Number 3, tip, do not do your own design. Oh my gosh, those of you who are using the weekend course design software, the free stuff, it's always terrible. I've never seen a good case work out. And you're gonna spend, what is the value of your doctor's time? I mean, unless you think this is the coolest thing in the world, which I don't, to sit behind a computer and move teeth, no thank you. It just doesn't work out, okay? You need to outsource as much as possible to the people who know what they're doing, the people that use the high quality software out there. Your time is not worth it. For $90 to have it done right, outsource it. It's kind of like dry cleaning, right? Do I own a dry cleaning press? No, I outsource it because what? They do it right. Certain things like that. I don't do everything myself. I don't do my own plumbing. Let the treatment planners treatment plan your case. Then, just like you do with Invisalign or ClearCorrect, you can review it, you can modify it, things like that. The one I work with, and you're welcome to email me if you want an intro, just say I want an intro to your treatment planning aligner company, aligner treatment planning company. To contact me, you can go to straightsmilesolutions.com, hit the contact button, or you can email us directly at info@straightsmilesolutions.com. Anyways, once you do that, you basically let them set it up. You can modify it, but the cool thing is they have pretty much all the bells and whistles that you need. They've got anterior bite turbos. They've got all kinds of different shapes of attachments. They have precision cuts. You don't have to punch your own in. Precision cuts for elastics. I mean, what else do you need? The only thing that they have that they don't have that Invisalign has is MA, because MA, mandibular advancement, is proprietary. If you have a case that needs MA, well, then you use a twin block or a bionator first. It's not a big deal, right? Basically, we're going to work out the same. Now, in terms of case selection, remember, you are going to be paying per aligner. There's no revisions and refinements log built into these. You're paying per aligner. So I highly recommend that you ask them to print it in batches, okay? So maybe 5, 7 at a time, uppers and lowers. It's $20 per aligner in the US, so you can do the math. Okay, we'll do 10. 10 upper and lower to make it easy. That would make it $400, okay? But what if I just print the first 5 uppers and 5 lowers, not all 10 uppers and 10 lowers? Well, then it's $200 down plus the $90 setup fee, $290. Now you can go ahead and you can really charge your patients no down, and $100 per month, and they can just pay as they go. Do you know how great that's going to be for marketing in your office? If you can say, you can start your clear aligners for $100 down, $99 a down, and $99 per month, people will 100% be excited. Now, not everyone can get these aligners. And again, it comes down to case selection. You need to select the right case. Now, in general, I recommend you pick really simple cases because there's no revisions, refinements built into it. So you're going to pay each time. So if you need a revision refinement, you're going to pay again, right? The only thing that is covered in terms of revisions and refinements is the design. Okay, so you're not going to pay that $90 again if you did need one, at least not at the moment. Again, things may change. The company I'm working with, you're only paying for the manufacturing. So this brings me back to my other issue, well, two issues. Another thing you need to do before you start doing this, let's say you've done all your Invisalign classes, you understand ortho, you've got that printer in your closet, but you know you're going to wait, you're going to outsource your first 50 cases, blah, 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 at $20 per aligner. Now you need to create an in-house tracking system, or you can outsource it. So it's super important. I've worked with enough doctors who have done this, and everyone that doesn't do this fails. Every single one. There's metrics on this, okay? And I call failing anything over a 30-40% refinement rate in your office. And you really should calculate your own refinement rate. You can ask your Invisalign territory manager what it is. There's analytics for that. If your refinement rate is over 35-40%, you failing, okay? It should be 10%. If you ask orthodontists, their revision refinement rate is crazy low compared to the general dentist. That's just how it is. Because guess what? We pick cases right, we treatment plan right, and we use virtual check-ins. Now let's talk about virtual check-ins. You can use free, if you're using Invisalign, they have their own system. It's called Invisalign Virtual. There's an app that goes on the patient's phone. There's an app that goes on your phone, or it can go to your dashboard. Every single aligner change, before they change their aligner, the patient, you give, okay, yeah, it costs 50 cents. You give them a 50 cent retractor. You can buy this in bulk. They go home, they take a series of a couple pictures. I recommend, Invisalign says 3 pictures with the aligners in, slightly open, just to check tracking. I actually like to get the 8 photos, those 3 photos plus another 5, the regular intraoral series with the retractors, biting down, right, left, top, bottom with the aligners out. If you want to be extra cool, give them a little pile of articulating paper, have them bite, tap, tap first before they take their photos. That really, really helps because you can be looking for posterior open bite before it gets bad. Those 8 photos, that's my recommendation. It's different than Invisalign Virtual. If you have them do this before they change every aligner, okay, and then they wait for your response, you know, thumbs up, go ahead and change and move on to the next aligner. A thumbs down, you need to stay in this aligner for another week and use Chewies. You won't have revisions and refinements. It'll be a one-off instead of a normal thing. Your patients will be crazy, crazy, crazy happy because it was predictable. Whatever you said, you know, that 20, 30, 40, 50 aligners actually happened. It was predictable, you got it done, you finished when you were supposed to. They're going to literally refer you so many other patients. And the cool thing is, now from a marketing perspective, you have this series of every single aligner that changes, so you can build this really cool like animation. If you really want to do cool things, and I've seen this progression, this series of progression video that takes you from 1 to 20, 1 to 30, showing how the patient moves. That's so cool. Easy. You can send that to Fiverr or Upwork and someone can build that for you for 20 bucks. Anyways, I've seen it done. Super, super, super cool. Just a cool idea just to think about it. And what an amazing way. If you threw that on your website, all different types of cases, people will trust you because you're doing things right, right? So we talked about Invisalign Virtual. That's free. What if you're wanting to do it with a different brand? Well, then you need to use, I mean, in theory, if you know how to do HIPAA compliant email and stuff like that, regular email is not HIPAA compliant, regular texting is not HIPAA compliant. You need to actually use HIPAA compliant email, HIPAA compliant messaging. There's all different ways you can do this. It's not going to be free, right? Unless you already have that in your practice. And to be honest, patients would think that's a super hassle if they had to email. I guess it depends. If it was something on your phone, it's better to have an app on your phone, I think, because I mean, having to email something off your phone is kind of a pain, but whatever. But I recommend 2 other companies if you want just custom, like easy, you know, already like literally made for this. That's what it's made for. It's made for aligner tracking. And that would be Align Flow. Is probably the most affordable. They're very affordable. I believe their price is somewhere in the neighborhood of $140 per month for up to 30 cases. Up to 30 patients per month, and it goes up from there if you have more patients. So even if you don't have that many patients, it's really easy for you to pay that and have them start using virtual tracking from the beginning. And the other awesome thing about virtual tracking is that you don't need to see the patients every 4 or 5 aligners. Boom, just do your IPR at the beginning, do your attachments at the beginning, and now let's see if I'll challenge you. Try to get this aligner case done in just 3 to 4 appointments. Yes, it is 100% possible. First appointment is going to be the consult, the records, and the scan. Second appointment is going to be deliver the aligners with the attachments and the IPR as needed, if there is IPR. Third appointment could be the debond. if they've done virtual tracking the whole way, you can literally give them the entire box. Now, if you're gonna do that, okay, hey, this is basically what the direct-to-consumer aligner companies do, okay? But they're doing it in no appointments because they're doing it all virtual. You are taking records, you're doing things properly, you're taking x-rays, everything like that, you're bonding attachments, you're doing IPR. You need to create some type of contract with the patient saying that you can only warranty the outcome or they only get free revisions, refinements if they do virtual tracking every single visit. That is super, super critical, because what you don't want them to do is, they take the box and then they're just winging it. They're not checking in, because now you are not caring for your patient. You have to set up an agreement how the care is going to work. Virtual care is fine as long as the patient's actually doing it. So sometimes I recommend giving the patient, as much as I'd love to do this in 3 appointments, I want to know that they're actually doing it first. So unless you have like a super airtight type of contract, and no, I don't have this contract, okay? I don't even want to make it because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to build you this contract, okay? They might be floating around out there on the internet. I don't know. I imagine the direct-to-consumer companies have something like that out there. I don't have a copy of it. It's not my business. So, but it's very easy for you to work with an attorney to get that drafted, okay? Some type of a legal agreement where you are not responsible financially or for any damage if the patient ghosts you and doesn't check in. I mean, obviously, my suggestion, if you have this kind of system going on, you need to have somebody in your practice who is your virtual dental assistant. This is a position. And ultimately, if you only have 10, 20, 30 cases, but they're checking in every aligner, this takes time. This can't be something that your current dental assistant or your current office manager or even your dentist can do on the side. That assistant needs to have 2, 3, 4 hours a day to sit in their chair and just deal with these, okay? And if so-and-so, if they know they have 30 aligner, 50 aligner cases going on, you need to literally be auditing it every day. Little Susie did not check in for her aligners. She was due today, give them a call, follow up. And you know what? If you can't get a hold of her, you start sending those certified letters, and worst comes to worst, you discontinue the patient. And now you're not legally responsible for it anymore. Now, personally, would I give the patient all 20 aligners if they were paying monthly? No. So you would only get all 20 aligners if you paid up front. So, I mean, that's my suggestion for you. I think even the direct-to-consumer aligner companies don't give you the whole box if you're paying monthly. I believe they ship them as they come. That's what I would do. So that's, it's a win for them. So maybe they're going to have to stop in and pick them up. They won't need an appointment, or they can pay for shipping, and you can mail it to them. That's their choice, priority mail with tracking, $20 a month. That's their choice, and a little bit more for your inconvenience having to package it. And like I said, if you print it in batches, let's say you're just doing 5 at a time instead of the full 10, then you can even wait and make sure they are tracking. And once you know that they're tracking and they're on aligner 5, we can go ahead and tell the company that's manufacturing for you to go ahead and make the next 5. That's going to save you a ton of money if you are making your own brand. I know I haven't gotten to the whole labeling, making your own brand thing yet because I'm not there yet. I'm still talking about the basics, all the stuff you need to have done before you even get to this. Remember, I said first, you need to know ortho. You need to do a ton of cases. Or you need to work with a consultant, an orthodontist, to help you understand ortho on your first 50 to 100 cases for at least a year, okay? Then there's other things that you need to do. Then you could make your own aligners at $20 per aligner, $90 setup, and you can outsource the manufacturing, because at least you know the manufacturing is done right. You're also outsourcing the treatment planning. At least you know the treatment plan is going right. So if something goes wrong, well, that's on you. That was your tracking, and you're also outsourcing the tracking, right? Where you have a tracking program, whether you create it in-house or you use one that's already established, like AlignFlow or dental monitoring, and you're doing that, and you have someone in your office that is babysitting it. Remember, ultimately, the doctor needs to be checking these. So this person is just pre-screening. The doctor still needs to check it, okay? And in terms of the legality of that, you check your own Dental Practice Act. I believe it's legal in every state, because every state allows, SmileDirectClub and Candid and all that kind of stuff. Bite, but check with your own attorney. I'm not an attorney. Okay, phew. Okay, so these are all the things you need to get done first before you move on to building your own brand of aligners. Now, again, I told you that things can change. So based on my knowledge, the last time I have talked to some of these regulatory companies that are out there, there are 2 different companies that I've worked with to help doctors when they want to build their own brand. If you want to put, I don't know, what's the name of your practice? Your practice's name, the Dental Corner, I don't know. If you want to put Dental Corner aligners on it and brand it, okay, not only do you have trademark issues, but you also have FDA and regulatory issues. You are now creating a brand. It's completely different than you having your own in-house product that's unbranded. That's just you can make lab work in your office. You're a dentist. It's totally fine. But if you're going to brand it, it becomes a whole different story on regulatory. Do I know how much it costs? No, sorry, don't know. I know it's all over the place depending on what you're trying to do, how many offices you have, if you're only keeping it within your own single office, or if you're, sending it to other offices and letting other people use your brand, completely different. So I'm happy to introduce you to the companies that can help you with this. I have a couple that I've used. I don't personally use it because I don't personally do this, but I've referred enough doctors and also aligner companies to them. If they want to learn how to do aligners, to do things right so that you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's how you create your own custom in-house clear aligners. Again, I've gone over all the steps. This is the only way to do it. If you don't do it the way I said, you will not succeed. I can pretty much confidently tell you that. You will regret it. So just do it right. All right. Anyways, if you'd like to chat more, if you'd like any of those introductions, feel free to reach out to me, straightsmilesolutions.com or info@straightsmilesolutions.com. Introductions are always free. All right. Thanks so much.